In this section, we are examining two examples which are mainly dealt with the pass pawns which are isolated each other. In this example, we see two pawns in the fourth rank which are isolated and they have a gap of two files. They are isolated by two files. And we see another example. In this position, we see two isolated pawns in the fifth rank and a gap of two files isolated between them, stuffed between them. They are distant by two files. In this example, if there are a common theory is to be revealed. If there are two files between the isolated pawns, they are weak pawns, that is, they cannot support each other. But in this example, the pawns are weak, they are isolated by two files. There are two files in between the pawns, but it is white, it is white who is winning, because by correct precise play we can queen one of these pawns. How? There is a theory behind this kind of isolated pawn endings which is called common square. The first example, in which the isolated pawns are in the fourth rank, we draw a line from the least advanced pawn. Here the least advanced pawn is the h4 pawn, because it is it can be captured by the black king at g6 if we advance the pawn, or it is very weak. The king can come to h5 and capture it. So it is the least advanced pawn. h4 pawn is the least advanced pawn. And there is another pawn which is in the e4, which is going straight to e8. If we draw a line from e4 to e8, it goes in the direction upwards. And if we draw a line from a diagonal from h4 to the path of the e4 pawn, that is, the diagonal consists of h4, g5, f6 and e7. They meet here, e7 square is the path. The common square is e7, and if we further extend the diagonal, we will get if we proceed the diagonal to the 8th rank, we will get d8. And if we proceed this straight line upwards of the e4 pawn, we will get e8, which are two different squares. So there is no common square. There is no common square for the pawns at the 8th rank. But in our second example, we see the e5 pawn moving upwards to e6, e7 and e8, and the least advanced pawn is h5, and the diagonal drawn is h5, g6, f7 and e8. Here we saw that they are intersecting at the 8th rank. So in this position, black is lost. If white plays accurately, then one of these pawns will be queened. But in this position, uh, whatever white plays to move forward any of these pawns, it will result in a draw, because the the intersecting point is at the 7th rank, or in other words, we don't have a common 8th rank square. The common square is in the 7th rank, and 8th rank, the diagonal, if we extend the diagonal we get d8, and we extend the path of the e4 pawn we will get e8. So they are both different squares, so we will the white side is forced to a draw. Let's check an example. uh, King h5 is played, then e5 will be played, king g6 is played, king g2, king f5, h5, king cross e5, h6, f6, h7, g7, and it's a draw.